Hello, and you're listening to the AI Moment with me, Jonathan Wagstaffe.
And me, Danny Denhard. Today, we're going to dive into a topic which Jonathan actually walks through in a lot of his presentations and a lot of the work that he goes through with businesses. So, Jonathan, what are the three things for every AI leader or leaders about to embark on AI to consider?
Yeah, I think this is, there's a part when I'm running a workshop or doing a presentation, there's a piece of it where what I'm trying to convey to people that this is not just another little technical upgrade like many of the technical upgrades we've experienced in our lives. This is an absolute sea change in the way that the world works, in the same way that, the wheel and electricity and things like that were. This is a great big change. This is not there's a new kind of computer out, or now we can all get on the internet. It's much bigger than that. Now, therefore, the way I take that forward is to first of all say to those business leaders, therefore you can't ignore it. You have to educate yourself about AI to an extent that you feel comfortable. And the good news is there's lots and lots and lots of material out there, courses, videos, written material. There is no reason why everyone should be able to educate themselves about AI, for free in a lot of cases. And certainly there's also paid courses now. Now, once you've got an understanding of AI, comprehension, then there are three questions I think every business leader should be asking themselves, whether they're running a small company, whether they're running a department in a big company, but even if you're the CEO of a great big global company, you should be asking yourself these three questions. Question one is, how can these tools help us to automate what we do now to save time and cost? So think about the 80-20 rule. Is there a number of things that go on in your business where AI could really make a difference and save an awful lot of time or cost? Can you work out a process within the business for examining that stuff, developing some kind of testing process, running little programs or little projects to test, and then evaluating them? What can you do? What can you do with your own business now to work out where the low hanging fruit automations are that are going to save time and cost? Any thoughts on that, Dan?
Couldn't say it any better myself. I always recommend to companies to list the problems out and then understand the tools and where the automations are going to make most sense. The automations that have worked, especially through some of the coaching and advising I'm doing at the moment, is in marketing departments, in product teams, even in engine and development. And as we said in one of the previous episodes, some of the tools that you can use will help you with operational and organization analysis. So they essentially automate you. So I completely agree. What's your second question?
So the second one is to go a little bit further and think defensively. And so now we're thinking about disruption. And when you understand some of those technologies, how might they disrupt the space that you operate in? So if you had a very AI savvy competitor, either one of your existing competitors, or maybe even an AI savvy startup in your space that came after you, how would you respond to that? How could they hurt you? And what would you do about that? Now, there's a number of ways you can do this. And this is the sort of work that you and I would do in workshops with people. There's an exercise really in mapping your value chain across the organization, working out where the vulnerabilities and disruptions might be, working out how somebody could disrupt, and then working out your defensive strategy for it. So for me, number one, we said, what can you do to automate? Number two is, how could somebody really hurt you if they disrupted your space with AI technology? Again, Dan, your thought?
It's an exercise I think we all go through with if a competitor released something or had a new product. So it's just a reframing. For most businesses I've worked in, it's an exercise, whether it's offsite in a basement in a hotel, or it's in a workshop around it. So something I often say to leaders at the moment is, if I was thinking around how to disrupt us and where we're weak, where would it be? And often I recommend a professional SWOT analysis, bringing that out and then just saying where AI can disrupt you and where you can actually flip it over and do it against your competitors. I also do that and completely agree. And your third one is?
Well, you've fed me into it well there, Dan. The third one is, okay, so the flip side of how can they disrupt you is an evolution question. How might you evolve the business? How might you use this technology to evolve your offer? Could you disrupt your space? So you really, as you say, it's the flip side of the previous exercise. Once you've done that exercise, then why don't you become the AI savvy competitor who's hurting everybody else? Could you quickly move to reduce cost, reduce time, change the game, do other things that disrupt the space, provide much more value to the customers and the clients, and potentially disrupt the competition? How could you do that?
I would say that the tech team, the development team, and engineers will be great at helping you. If you connect them with operations or an ops lead or the finance lead, that would also be another great recommendation to move forward with. So if we were to summarize, Jonathan, we would say the 3 questions to ask are: how would you automate and save time and costs and find the low-hanging fruit through automation?
Yep.
The second one would be: how would you be disrupted, or where is this disruption going to come within your market and via competitors? And basically call out where you're going to be hurt and how you're going to action that and take that forward yourselves. And then the third one is evolve. Where can AI help you evolve as a business? And where is it going to take you and your 12 to 18 month roadmap? Have I done a fair good job on summarizing that?
How could you Yeah, you have, exactly. And the final ones, therefore, how could you disrupt the space? And the point you made a minute ago, absolutely right. This is a multidisciplinary question. There's a question for the CEO, but it's also a question for the departmental heads. It's also a question for departments. This is not a question you give to a small part of the business. This is a question all of the leaders should be thinking about as it relates to their department, as it relates to the wider business. But yeah, absolutely right. How do you, question 1, how do you automate? Question 2, how might you respond to being disrupted? Question 3, how could you disrupt?
I think we've given a lot of great advice there. And actually, it's something that will be useful now, 3 months' time, 6 months' time, 9 months' time. And if I'm thinking around my 2026 plan, these are the 3 questions that I'd be asking, day 1, morning 1 of the meetup and the strategic planning.
And I think this is an area, Dan, where, maybe organizations are looking for a little more help, because there's a lot more around each of these 3 bullet points. And both you and I have worked with organizations to help them understand that. So I think this is one area where I would say to people, don't be afraid to get in touch. If this is something that you're either struggling with or you're not sure where to start, both Danny and I have got a lot of experience here. Get in touch. We'd be happy to chat.
Exactly. Until next time, Jonathan.
Good seeing you, my friend. I'll see you soon.
Thanks for listening today. If you've got any questions or any feedback, have a look in the show notes and we'll happily come back to you.